and squids. Could have been so freaking rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo and won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading down to the Parents Lounge to drown ourselves in booze.
That's really funny. Is that new? My God.
Dude, so well played. Welcome to Parental Mental Health Night here at the Parents Lounge. Jamie Killer, joined by Jason Gowan and Mr. Jeff Lewis. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Jobo's here. Oh, we got Brandon is here.
Yeah, everybody's coming in.
I don't know how. What's that?
We're back.
We are back.
I don't know how to get rid of it, but when I type something, it comes up 3 times. So I don't know how that.
It's because it goes out to 3 different. It goes out to all of your different pages.
No.
It's here.
3 different people.
Ah.
See, Jamie, Parents Lounge, and me.
Probably go over and go live on my Instagram.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
You don't want to see it 3 times, do you? Every time.
How are you, fellas? I feel like it's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot mess because
or a minute.
It's been a hot minute. We were away for a week or 2, and Jason was at Disneyland /World /Orlando.
Oh, yes. How was that?
It was, so I've got to be honest. We were hesitant, as you recall. I was worried about what was going to happen. I will say that Disney's disability services really came in clutch. It was pretty handy because it stopped my kids from probably 15 out of 20 meltdowns that could have happened. It stopped 15 of them because
How many of your meltdowns did it stop?
What?
How many of your meltdowns were stopped?
None. I had all of mine.
Yeah, that's right.
I knew I was done when. Well, I don't know why my wife made the call to give them a Rice Krispie treat covered in chocolate and M&Ms as a meal at Disney Springs. She did that knowing what would happen.
Yeah.
And it was not good. We're not welcome back there. They did a lot of damage. And it was St. Patrick's Day. So for them to have done that much damage when they know there's going to be damage, it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, like with adults, you give them plastic cups so they don't kill each other. And so with kids, I mean, basically a Rice Krispie treat dipped in chocolate is really heroin for a child.
Yeah.
And it was. And a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah. What happened to me too.
What?
All that sugar, I mean.
Jeff's not good with sugar.
No.
He's eating it right now.
I know.
You'll see in a few minutes. Just give it time.
Yeah, he's not. This is not going to end well.
I'll be walking off. I'll be.
Now, I remember talking to you one day when you were having an absolute meltdown because your child took his disability papers and what did he do with them?
So they put all of their stuff on those wristbands. They call them magic bands. They're electronic and they keep all your information. Dark Lord decided to flush his magic band down the toilet. He came out very upset. And I asked him where his magic band was, and he goes, shh. And I was like, you flushed it down the toilet? Yet.
But he pulled it off his hand.
Correct.
Did he give very specific reasons why?
It wasn't tight enough on his hand that he just pulled it off?
So there's a sensory thing with them sometimes. And I just think he had had a fuck enough of it, and he ripped it off and thought the best place for that device was to flush it down the toilet. But it had all of our, so you have to scan that badge to go into the rides.
Oh, no.
And it has all the information for them to come back for their scheduled time. So we had rides scheduled, and now we have no way, because it's not on the adult bands. It's not on the other 2 kids' bands. It's just on his. And so we had to go to the Disney cast members and be like, hey, you've probably never heard of this before. Our child flushed it down. And he assured me, happens more than you'd think. And they gave us a certificate to go to the store, and we got another magic band for free. And they just uploaded all his information in it right then and there. So they gave us like a $40 free gift for being there, which is,
Now, could I make a suggestion to make sure this doesn't happen again?
I would love that. Yeah.
You would think they would put it on the parent's wrist.
No,
The
it
child-
has to be the kid with the disability. It's a flawed system.
Okay, then since it easily comes off there, you need to put it around their neck. You couldn't get it up over their head, so you would. If I were me, I'd put it obviously not that tight, but tight enough around the neck so that they couldn't get it off.
Struggling. They have a sensory issue. I don't know.
Ready, B.
Yeah. Maybe it should be a fun tattoo, like a temporary tattoo.
That's
like a QR code,
A stamp.
Yeah, I'm
Damn.
okay with that.
Why let me do
You
it?
can't flush. You can't flush a tattoo.
No,
yeah, but you lick it though.
You can piss on it, I guess, or you can.
Here's what you could do though, so the kid couldn't get
in
to
the
it.
park, or we just
You could shave a patch of their hair in the back and then stamp it on the back of the head like Neo or something.
honestly, we probably could have done it with mine. We could have just stamped it right onto my head.
Yes, a small thing into their skin. Yeah.
I will say though, Dark Lord did not. We almost did not make it through airport security. He legitimately almost did not make it through. 3 times the TSA agent told him not to touch the metal detector on the side when he went through, and 3 times with a shit-eating grin on his face, looked the woman right in the eye and went punched both sides.
God.
And I'm like, buddy, if they take you, I can't save you. There's nothing I can do to stop whatever's going to happen to you. I did have to explain his disability to her, which she did allow me then to walk through with him myself. And that did stop it, but it was not great. It was not a great thing.
Yeah. Dude, I'm still working on, I'm not going to say how, but I'm trying to get on the no-fly list, and I've been doing some nefarious things.
Well, I can tell you right now, all you got to do is punch the metal detector, double punch it 3 times, and they warned that would be the last time. So I will tell you how to get through it if you want.
Well, I just want to make sure it's the next Christmas when my wife's going, hey, we're going back to visit the family. I go, I can't. Legally, I can't.
I cannot fly. She'll probably make you take a train, so I don't know if that's a great idea.
I would love to take a train across country. I really would.
Okay, let's see what you. I don't think you like it. Actually, I've done part of it. It's not pleasant.
Wait, what did you do? You took a train?
When I was a kid, I took a train from Houston to Minneapolis. And here's where the problem is. They stop all the time. And it's loud. And if you're thinking you can sleep or relax, it's days and days. So it's not.
Let me tell you this. There are different trains.
Well, okay. I mean,
it sounds like your parents. I think you're confusing the word Greyhound bus with train.
Oh yeah.
Were your parents on the train with you?
Maybe it was a bus. Maybe
were your parents on the train with you?
I think they were.
What do you mean you think they were?
No, they were. They were. I'm sure they were.
Okay. Right. So your father skimped and he didn't get the express ticket.
Oh, he's very cheap. He told me it was a train, I swear.
No, it was a train, but here's the thing. You can take trains, like there's express trains that don't stop at every stop. They stop at
you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. There's local.
Are you 100? Okay.
It's like the New York subway. There's local and then there's express.
I mean, I've read about them, but
Wait a second. Express train from one side of the country to the other?
Well, no, obviously not that, but it's not going to stop at every.
Okay.
Like, and also, I think as a kid, it would be annoying. But as an adult trying to get away from your kids, I think it would be a lot. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
How do you feel about traffic, bumper to bumper traffic before you had kids? And how do you feel now about bumper to bumper traffic when you're in the car without kids?
Wait a second. Hold on. I mean, I hated it. Oh, I've always hated it. But you mean either way when you don't have kids? Is that what you're saying?
Before I had kids, I would have anxiety in traffic. I would have anxiety flying by myself. Then I had kids and I traveled with kids in traffic, on planes, everywhere. And that was an absolute nightmare. And then now when I travel anywhere without my children, I'm totally fine.
I will
okay,
agree.
yeah.
I agree with Jamie on this
I,
because
I, I don't think there's an
it is
agreement.
a
I think
thing.
I think he just made a statement. I don't think there's a. I, I don't think there's an agreement, Jason. I mean,
So the other day I drove up to Solvang to do a show. I would have, before I had kids, I would have been like, a 2-hour drive, nightmare. I'd be dreading it or whatever. And then this time I didn't bring the kids. I went without the kids and I looked forward to it all week long. I was like, I listened to The Wager. I had a book on, I
yeah,
listened to a book on tape. I had
yeah. No,
Audible.
it is nice.
I made a bunch of phone calls. Like, by the end of the drive, I was like, wow, that flew by. Like, it didn't
Yeah.
bother me whatsoever.
I love blasting music. I mean, that's another thing when the kids aren't in the car.
I did, Brendan. I found a traveling recovery program. Well, I've been doing a bit lately about the fact that I go, when I see somebody who has a therapy animal on a plane, I'm like, dude, I can cure that in one trip. I'm going to take away your therapy animal. I'm going to have you fly cross country with my 2 children.
Oh
You
my
spend
God.
one day flying with my kids, or anybody's kids for that matter. And then for the rest of your life, you're never going to need a therapy animal. Like, you'll want to be alone. You'll be like, ugh. Like, now when I fly alone, I get to the airport like 6 hours early and I just watch people walk around and I just laugh and enjoy myself.
Jamie, have you ever flown just you and the girls without Kate?
I think I have.
You have? How did it go for you?
Well, what you mean with Kate and the 2 girls?
Yeah,
it
did
was
you ever
okay.
just go with Jamie's family somewhere?
It was not bad. I mean,
Listen, I'm not going to make Christmas this year, but in lieu of me,
Jeff's going to go.
I've hired Jeff. Dude, there's a business right there. Hire a dad.
I've hired a husband. I've hired my friend.
He's the emotional sport dad.
Oh my God.
I think when the kids were younger, it would have been really hard to fly alone without them.
Yeah.
But now it would be probably easier just to fly with the 2 kids without my wife.
So it was really
God,
tough for us because of Melissa having the pacemaker, she can't go through the regular line. She has to be separate from us. So I tried to get twin autistic kids through security, and obviously Dark Lord was a problem. But I also had to do all of their take off all their shoes. I had to do all of that myself, and it was a nightmarish hell.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. That is really rough. One time we were back east visiting her family, all of us, and I ended up booking a few days on a film. And so I was going to Detroit to shoot the film. And so you remember that? And so I was going to fly the next day and she said, no, you need to fly with me from Jersey to Los Angeles. Then I could probably get home from the airport and then you can get back on a plane.
Oh my God.
We had a huge fight. We had a huge fight about it.
I remember this.
Yeah.
I go, dude, I'm not, I don't know I don't know what the repercussions of this, but I'm not doing that. Cause then I had to shoot straight for 3 days. And I was like, I'm not going to be on fumes flying around the country and then try to shoot for 3 days. And so I did walk her. I got her into that terminal and you can get a pass. Do you know you can get a pass as a parent to get into the terminal? So I helped her
to help out.
And I helped her onto the plane and I got everything on the plane with her and the luggage. And then we had a friend meet her at the airport. So literally it was from gate to gate and then she was okay. And the kids were kind of older. They weren't terrible.
Isn't this the same thing that you ended up having to stay in Detroit after because there was a COVID issue?
The girl I shot here, the story's even crazier. They ended up scrapping the whole movie. I shot for 3 days. It was in the middle of COVID. And then the night before I was supposed to leave, the next day, the girl I had shot with, who was sitting on my lap, we were very close. She tested positive for COVID, and I was like, "Oh no!" And the other dude and I were desperately trying to get back, and I'd already been shot out. I'd shot all my scenes, and so I was like, "I gotta go." And I think they were like, no, you have to stay until this all clears. And I was like, I just went and got on the plane. And then when I got home, I stayed in a hotel down the street for a few days until I realized I didn't have it. And then the whole movie got shut down for a year. And then they recast it. They recast the whole
wow.
movie and started from scratch. They were only 3
I
days.
never knew that. What?
It just came out. Yeah. It came out. The guy, he didn't have a choice. It wasn't his fault. Like the guy was trying to make it. He ended up making. I think Jeff Dye's in it. Dustin Ybarra. It's a fun cast. It's a bunch of comics.
Huh.
And then they did a tour. They're doing like a comedy tour about it or something. But
That's
cool. Yeah. Mike Young, my buddy, who's the writer and director, was great. And listen, it was nothing personal. I actually only got it because Bob Saget passed away. Bob Saget was going to play the part, and then I was like a last-second replacement, and then the whole thing got scrapped. And then that happens. It happens all the time and stuff. Where you're like, I just saw Simon Pegg's new movie. They were like shut down because somebody stopped writing checks, and they were like, "Uh-oh," and they shut the movie down. I've been on sets before. I shot a show called Heist. And we were like halfway through the episode and they came to set and were like, show's canceled. And everyone's like, well, are we going to finish this episode? And everyone's like, no, you're not. Everyone got in their car and drove home.
Oh my God. You're not finishing it.
Bye-bye.
That's really funny.
Rob Cullen show. Billy Gardell was in it. It was great. It was funny. But yeah.
Oh my God.
No rhyme or reason, dude. There's no rhyme or reason.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's so funny. Dude, that's so crazy about your stories in Disney, though. We were funny. We were talking, Jeff, and I want to hear what you think about this. What do you think about Disney adults without kids? Because we
talked about this last stream, didn't we?
A lot of them when you were there. Was the park full of adults without children?
So yes, I did not realize this was a thing, but there are actual people who will bring their laptops and stuff, and they use Disney as an office. In Hollywood Studios, which is, one of the 4 parks there, in the ABC Commissary restaurant, I cannot tell you, I bet at least 15 people were in there just working on their laptops, no kids, just in the park.
Wow.
Working. And that's one of 4 parks. So I'm sure it's happening in all of them.
Now, we talked about this before, but those people should have to register as sex offenders.
It's illegal, yes. I agree.
You shouldn't. I mean, you're not supposed to be clogging up parks where kids are at. If you don't have a kid, get out of the way. Just get out of the way. Like, it's nothing worse than when you're in a 90-minute line and you're looking down the line and you're like, there's not a lot of kids. You're like, What are these people doing? It's like, look at me. I'm in a teacup spinning. I'm a grown adult with no child. Look at me. Wee! Dude, grow up. I can't wait to see the comments. People are going to like.
I will say
they already
one
mad
exception to that is the Epcot park, because they don't feel like it's for kids. It's
Epcot Park's okay. Like, it's an adult thing.
Because obviously there's the drink around the world thing, which my wife did try to do. Didn't make it. She did not make it very far.
How many drinks are going around the world?
So it's 14 countries. And
Frankie Muse, here we go. Oh boy, what a time to come. All right, we'll go on to something. Frankie, what do you want to talk about? You tell us.
But I will say
Disney, that's the only reason this whole thing came back up. I am such an anti-Disney guy. There's 14 countries and each one has like a signature beverage. So by the time you get to the end, I have to start in Mexico and end in Canada, because otherwise there's sexual harassment charges that could be filed against me. Dude, it's just a cult for me. Like even with my kids or something, I remember like them having to have like the backpack with Frozen on it, or the thermos, or the lunch.
Oh, I know.
It's just so much wasted money on stuff that is just. I really, people are going to light me up, but I just don't. The whole premise, most of the movies, honestly, the good movies, they're kind of teaching crazy lessons about. I love this. The new. Oh, by the way, new Snow White came out. What do you think about this whole? It's all craziness. The girl came out who's playing Snow White, who's, by the way, I believe Latino, right? She's a Latina,
yes.
Or Hispanic girl, yeah. Rachel Zegler, and she wasn't Hispanic enough to be in West Side Story, but now she's too Hispanic to play Snow White or something.
What was the deal with the dwarves?
The same girl from West Side Story, I guess.
Was there a dwarf controversy too?
There was.
There is a dwarf controversy.
Dinner Dinklage had something. I didn't understand what was happening. I'm so
Well,
confused.
they originally casted, a very diverse group of actors to play the dwarfs.
Right.
And then there was backlash from the dwarf community that they were not actually dwarfs. And then they switched them all to CGI.
What were they? If they weren't,
They were basically everybody. I mean, they were all kinds of different ethnicities and,
Oh, funny.
Man.
Some of them are famous. I saw the list of them. I can't remember the names, but some of them I knew, like working actors who had read for it.
Well, I don't remember Peter Dinklage had come out,
He was the one that started it or something.
Yes, he was one of them that made it bigger.
I watched David Krumholtz. Do you know who he is from Numbers?
Yes.
Like literally every show ever. The Deuce. He's in
God, the Mexican. Yeah, I remember him.
Such a great actor.
Oh, Titus Burgess was one of them.
Who, by the way, is hilariously funny. He was from the Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah. Yep.
Titus Burgess. He was.
Oh, right.
The guy that played the guy in Human Centipede, the guy that actually made them, was one of them.
Oh my God, I've never seen that. I've heard about it.
I saw Rachel Zegler interviewed or something, and she was like, this story's so antiquated. I mean, this girl falls for a guy who's a stalker. The whole thing's just so upsetting. So we kind of sidelined the whole boyfriend story, and we did cast a guy. He was very nice. He's very good looking. But it's not really about that. I was like, dude, what movie are you talking about? It's Snow White. Sometimes when I see like Hollywood movies, I start to understand why a good hunk of the country really hates Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you see that at all? We're like, dude, we're just trying to make entertainment. Everything doesn't have to be a more, this crazy, like pushing your agenda on people. It's like, just make a great movie that's super fun and move on. But people once they get that start and they get that platform, they start to go. And she, I applaud any opinion she has, but when you're sitting there trying to open a $240 million movie, you might want to not bring Palestine and Israel into the storyline.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, Jeff, you got a little shirt comment.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is my Hanukkah shirt. It's Hanukkah in the stitching of like
Metallica.
Oh yeah.
Did you not get that was from Metallica?
Yeah, that's why I got it.
Oh, okay. Are you a Metallica fan? You don't seem like a Metallica guy.
Metallica fan.
But he's definitely a Hanukkah fan.
I thought it was so funny. My wife,
I like it
when I wear this.
I like it a lot. Yeah, I think it's great.
The 8 days of Hanukkah, she doesn't like when I wear it. We have a whole fight every time I put it on, but I love it.
Wait, what is her hatred for it?
She wants me to wear it only during Hanukkah. And I don't want to do that.
Does she not realize it still functions as a shirt the rest of the year?
Oh yeah, it's a functioning shirt, of course. But I'm just saying she just like, why are you wearing a Hanukkah shirt in April or March, whatever it is? It's like I just like it. I think I've never seen anything like it before, and I love it.
I really like it.
Thank you.
I'm wearing Under Armour, even though they've asked me to stop on several occasions.
It's an anti-sponsorship. I will wear this every day until you send me money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. They're like, yeah, if you could just stop wearing it, we'll send you $3,000.
My wife,
please.
My wife. It's so funny. My wife's always like, "Ugh, you dress so badly. It's not like, like all I ever wear is a t-shirt or a flannel and jeans, and it's the same flannel shirt from like 1994. I just don't care." And yet, here's what's crazy. Even on the way out tonight, she had a work dinner, and on her way out, she's like, does this outfit match? Does this jacket look great? I go, you're asking the guy who you say has no fashion sense.
Yeah.
Well, my opinion. And then sometimes I'll be like, those jeans are kind of mom jeans. And she's like, yeah, you don't know. Mom jeans are back in. I go, mom jeans are in fashion? She's like, yeah, mom jeans are back in fashion.
She decided that.
No, she didn't. No, fashion decided that.
Fashion told her. Yeah, I wear slippers out. There's a lot of things I do wrong.
My wife will ask my opinions on her outfits, but I feel like since I dress like a gym teacher from 1985, it's probably not the best move.
Maybe she does the opposite.
Oh yeah, that might be what she's doing, Jeff.
We'll have fights about it because she's like, which shoe? And she has one shoe on each side or whatever. and I'll go. First of all, I usually go. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And she gets really physically mad. She gets mad at me, like super mad. Like, make a decision. Make a decision. And then I go, the one on the right, and she goes, no, this one's in fashion. I'm wearing the one on the left. And she doesn't listen to me anyway. So I'm like, what? Why is this conversation happening in the first place?
I'm surprised. We have a 12-year-old daughter, and she goes to her now instead of me. I'm surprised that she doesn't go to your daughters, because she'll ask my daughter now, what do you think? Instead
Because
of me.
Hannah's what, 11 now, Jamie?
She is. She is.
So, I mean, I feel like Hannah's probably going to be, I mean, maybe her go-to.
Hannah's got great fashion sense. Yeah, she's actually got a very hipster, very cool fashion sense. Yeah. She's going to be serious trouble. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
You can already see the seeds are there. Like I am so excited to be your friend and watch it happen to you. Like, I can't wait.
I can't promise you I'll be here for it. I'm really pondering like going out for just a pack of smokes, and I'm
walking off a bridge, or you mean just walk away? You don't mean kill yourself?
No, Jeff.
Oh, sorry. I went too far.
Dark turn there.
I'm sorry. I mean, it was my thought then. I'm sorry.
I was amazed when somebody like the spouse kills the other spouse. You're like, I don't know if you know this, but you can just leave. You know that, right? You don't have to
make permanent. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be. That one dude who, remember we talked about the guy who went to Ukraine, or not Ukraine, he went to Eastern Europe.
Oh, the guy that
he faked his own death.
And
then went to Eastern Europe. Not a crime, by the way.
No, I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why people don't leave. I guess maybe there's yeah, man. Wouldn't everybody who is in the other person's family appreciate you just leaving? As opposed to
John Patrick Murphy's going to watch Adolescence now. I believe the kid, he kills somebody, right, or something.
Oh my God! Don't spoilers.
I believe that's pretty well known. And I didn't heard of it. Is do you want to let's talk movies for a second or two?
Got it. 1 second.
I watched Anora. Has anyone watching watched Anora?
I watched it.
Not yet.
I won Best Picture, and she won Best Actress. And before I'd seen it, I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I watched it. Jeff, what did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was. I liked it a lot.
I did too, dude. I really liked it, and I thought she was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
so good.
There is a controversy, not really controversy, but my dental hygienist said, "Do you know that she's not speaking Russian? She's actually speaking." I'm thinking. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another. I'm thinking of another country, not Russian, but maybe Eastern European.
Czechoslovakian, Ukrainian.
Not Ukrainian. It's another country.
Belarusian.
Where was Borat from? Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
What was the what do we celebrate every year to remember? No.
Sometimes having a conversation with Jeff is like a puzzle game. You got to put it together by the end.
Oh my God! No, it's
not.
Not.
Dan's got it. You could actually look at the comments there. These guys are helping you. Moldovan.
Not Slavic. Keep going. Keep going.
Is it Georgian?
It's the genocide one.
Armenian.
Yes. And this is what it is. The dental hygienist who's Armenian said they're not speaking Russian. They're speaking Armenian. I said, are you sure? Because during the movie, it's always like, hey, can you talk to this Russian kid? He doesn't speak. It's not. She said it's Armenian. I said, are you positive? Because they said Russian all the time. She said, I know, but everybody you talk to, I'm Armenian. It's Armenian. So I'm really curious why that was a mistake, or if she was wrong, the dental hygienist. I'm like, well, I got to find out what's going on. That's really weird, right?
Say that the people making the movie probably done some research.
Like maybe they consider Armenian and Russian to be like maybe there's
some crossover. Like
maybe the guy didn't know the difference. The character didn't know the difference. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know.
Mean, he was like a pimp, right, or something. I don't know.
No, he's an oligarch's son.
No. I mean, the guy who ran the strip club probably. Dan Wally said it's confirmed. But Dan, what's the answer? Does the character not know the difference, or they just got it wrong? I don't understand. Yeah.
Yes, the film Anora directed prominently features Armenian dialogue and stars Armenian actors.
Now, wait, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy. Didn't they use the word Russian?
Yeah,
The
I thought.
kid-
Well, the dad's Russian.
but they said he doesn't speak Russian. I swear they said the word. The
Well,
speak
listen,
Russian.
there's Armenian people here in the United States. So if you said they're from the United States, they could still speak Armenian.
Yeah,
I think we've gone too far down this.
I went too far. I
I
just
mean,
had to tell you that.
it did go down a bit deeper than I expected it to.
Yeah,
I love that we're sitting here talking about a movie about a prostitute who gets heavily.
How do you not? That ties directly.
Jeff's,
into
Jeff's
parenting.
made like Jeff would be the guy at the strip club where the girl's like totally naked, giving him a lap dance, and he'd be like, "Your dialect is that
yeah. I'm sorry. It does. I know.
I'm confused. You're using the vernacular of the male, but I feel like it should be a feminine
I'm very
diphthong."
aroused right now, but I'm questioning your dialogue.
By
I
the way,
gotta say, there's a
drama.
lot of
She
sex,
totally
a
earned it.
lot of intercourse.
Here's my. I have a couple favorite movies I watched. Did anyone else see Heretic?
I did not. You told me about
How is
that.
Hugh Grant not nominated for an Academy Award for Heretic? It's a feminine diphthong. He says Nina Jade. By the way, a feminine diphthong was my college band. That was the name of my college band, Feminine Diphthong, and we killed at the Rat in Boston.
Oh man,
Heretic is awesome. Heretic is so effing good.
I'll watch it. I can't watch it with my wife.
Honestly, it's one of the best scripts I've seen in a long time for a horror film, and Hugh Grant absolutely murders it. Literally, he murders it, and he is so good. And it breaks down religion in such a beautiful way. It's so fantastic. Also, this is crazy, but Better Man. Did anyone see Better Man, where Robbie Williams biopic, where he's a monkey the whole movie?
Robbie Williams.
I loved it. It's like it's made by the Greatest Showman makers, and he's basically a monkey. Nobody calls him he's not a monkey.
No, they did they tell them that, like, when the other people in the movie, like, did they tell them like that he was a monkey in it, or did they just see the guy?
I think they just see the guy, and they add the monkey.
They added the monkey after, right? So the other people didn't even know. So they don't ever react to it.
The movie bombed, by the way, absolutely bombed.
How do I watch it?
I love it.
Was the monkey also? It wasn't great. That monkey would not stop talking Armenian. I'll tell you.
Talks like a human. He's a human. But Robbie Williams says they made it that way because he always felt like a dancing monkey. Was the monkey also given? And so the monkey's giving Jeff a lap dance, and Jeff is like, the cadence of your utterings is. Are you from Asia?
Oh my God! You have an incredible body, but you're throwing poop on the wall. It seems wrong.
And you just ate my genitals, because isn't that what monkeys do? They go right and eat the genitals.
Oh, and half my face.
Haven't you seen the people who get eaten by monkeys and they eat their face, and then they go, apparently monkeys love eating your face, A, and then B, they go right for the genitals and eat them.
Can I just tell you this? We had a dachshund, a very small dog, right? A pug dachshund. And
I'm terrified of where this is going.
We never let. We feel, this is my mindset, animals are animals. So this little dog, we never let him out of our sight. We never left the baby alone with him ever. And in my mind, like monkeys, I mean, this is a small, tiny dog, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like even a small, tiny dog, I wouldn't leave with a baby, much less a monkey. Like to me, animals are all fundamentally animals. And
dude, cats have been they've tried to smother babies a lot because they don't give the attention. It's very natural. Yeah, you don't leave.
My cats are threatened by me being even on a laptop, so I can't imagine like how they would have been with a baby.
I just don't understand people when they're like, oh, I don't know why that horse just kicked me. Like they're animals. Like there's no rhyme or reason.
Dude, there's been people who got killed by their pet snakes and stuff, like boa constrictors that like ate the people.
It is crazy to me, like the people who will let the snake sleep in the bed with them. Like that is just asking to be murdered.
It's like Grizzly Man. Do you ever see? Or it's Grizzly Man. He gets eaten by the bear at the end of the doc. Not directly the end of Grizzly Man, but they eat him. And the whole movie, it's Werner Herzog, who I love.
Oh my God, I forgot about that movie. That was a documentary, right?
And the whole movie, he's like, And then he went up to live with the bears. And then it cuts to the guy who's like, these are my friends. These bears, they love me.
Do you remember that?
And he pets him and he goes, who's a good bear? And then like 90 minutes in the movie, you're like, this feels like it's about to go awry. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, the footage is like, he's like, get off! What are you doing? He's getting
In
eaten.
case you ever wondered, rabbits do bite each other's genitals when fighting.
Why wouldn't you?
It's insane.
By the way, rabbit balls are fantastic.
Anyway, my point was, I just don't trust any animals.
I don't
100%.
trust. I'm always amazed when people trust animals, man.
No.
I've told this before, but I did a show in Columbus, Ohio, and Jack Hanna was at it with Bill Engvall. And Jack Hanna came back. He was backstage with us after the show. He's like, "You want to come by? You want to come by the Columbus Zoo tomorrow? I'll take you on a tour." I was like, "Yeah, fucking Jack Hanna, yeah, absolutely." So we go on a tour with Jack Hanna through the Columbus Zoo, just Bill and I.
Oh my God!
So I go in the back of the cage and I feed manatees, like eating off my hand. It was crazy.
My God.
I petted a cheetah. And I was like, yeah, I'll pet a cheetah. And I get in the cage, and the cheetah's head is 3 times the size of my head would fit in his jaw perfectly. And I was scared shitless. I petted the cheetah. And the craziest thing, we went behind the gorilla cage, and there was a painted line on next to the bars, like maybe 7-8 feet away from the bars. And he goes, "Hey man, I know I've been fun and we'd had a lot of jokes and stuff today, but I'm dead serious. Don't step over that line." And I go,
my God.
Don't step over the line. I go, what?
God.
And the gorilla was maybe 25, 30 feet away on the other side of the cage, maybe even further. And he goes, he'll reach through the cage, grab a hold of you. He'll pull you right through the bars. And I'm like, well, I don't really fit through the bars. He goes, you will.
You will. Your head will go through.
He'll pull you right
really
through the bars, man. Gorilla will pull you right through the bars.
Oh my God.
Whatever. And I was like, oh, absolutely. Whatever you say, Jack Hanna. And I didn't cross the line. And the gorilla was just sitting on the other side, just kind of eyeballing me the whole time.
Yeah,
and Bill eyeballed me. And without any provocation or anything, I was kind of looking at him across the cage. And he came across the cage maybe 2 leaps where he hit the ground with his arms and his legs sprung forward like the Hulk, like when the Hulk runs. And he came across the cage in a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
He went to the cage and his arm came through the bars. And I was like, oh!
Oh my God.
And then he just went back to his side of the cage. Like, hey, you're the king. I'd never seen anything. You know, when you're watching the movies and you're like, the gorilla kills the guy or whatever. You're like, whatever. I can fight him.
No.
You cannot.
Why are they so strong? Is it just they're all 100% muscle?
Dude, it was the craziest thing. Like, your wife never looked a gorilla in the eye.
Well,
actually, I will tell you this. They have such dense body mass. Jamie, I think I've told you this story. I used to work for Homeland Security. And one of our posts, my job was to drive around at night to make sure all of our security guards were doing their jobs. And one of our outposts was an animal preserve. And the last guy who left for the day didn't tie up the paddle boats. And the paddle boats floated out to the monkey island. And all the monkeys got in the boats, but they don't know how to paddle. So when we came in the next morning, there are dozens of monkeys in paddle boats just floating in the lake because they don't know how to paddle the boats.
Oh my God.
And they all look so dejected and sad because they thought they were escaping and they're like, oh fuck, we don't know how to actually do any of this.
Oh my God, they had no idea how to paddle. Could they grab?
They're not a paddle. They knew to get in the boat.
Reach in the water and move the boat.
None of them got because we were like, we need to first make sure everybody's accounted.
Really funny.
But none of them, they never floated across to the other side. But there was,
dude, you might have just explained evolution.
You got to talk about that on stage. That's really funny.
You really do. That's a really funny bit. Like the first monkey,
just visualizing monkeys,
figured it out to go push water. Like that's the one that get across, and he evolved into man. Because you're like, people are like, how do monkeys become humans? And you're like, no, it was the one who rode across. He finally figured it out. That's so funny. They couldn't. You would think that they would figure it out.
They did
Like,
not, and they were literally just. I cannot tell you the joy it brought me to just see dozens of monkeys in boats.
Oh my God! Have you seen those videos of people who visit Rwanda, and they'll go through the gorilla area, but once in a while, they'll have a gorilla will come up to them, happen to go by them, and they all immediately have to do this. They have to all look down. They can, or they will be torn to pieces.
Yep.
If they make eye contact with that gorilla, they all have to. You just see them all looking down at their shoes because they cannot. You make eye contact, it's a threat, and they will just rip.
My
you
ex-wife
apart.
had very similar rules.
I mean, it's crazy how that's prison. That's prison rules, right?
That's true. Yeah.
We had a monkey on my boys. We shot with a monkey on my boys. I forget what the episode was, but we had a monkey.
Talking about Bunin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played the role of Kenny. No, we had a monkey, and the trainer was there all day, and of course everyone wants to hang with the monkey, and the trainer was very specific: do not talk to the monkey, do not look at the monkey, do not
talk to the monkey.
Talk to the monkey. The monkey's trying to work, and then the monkey didn't hit one of his cues. He sucked.
Man, yeah.
This totally reminded me. This was like I did this bit. This might have been one of my very first acts. I remember watching a nature show, and they showed this monkey, and they showed how smart he was because there was a rotting log, and it was filled with ants. And so he would take this really long stick, and he would lick it, make it all sticky, and he'd put it down into the log. And when it came out, it was covered with ants. All the ants were stuck to it, and he would eat them. And the narrator was like, "That this shows how smart the monkey is." But what they don't tell you is, it's fire ants. It's a log full of fire ants, and with each mouthful of ants, the monkey would eat the ants off the stick, and they go, ah, 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 ah! He tried to get them all out of his mouth, and then he went right back to the log with the stick and did it again.
God.
And he did it like over, and I was like, that monkey's kind of an idiot. Until I thought about the last time I was at a Super Bowl party and I was eating the spicy dip on the chips. I would eat the chip and be like, oh my God, that's hot. And then I'd go right back for another chip because we're stupid. We're just stupid.
That is so true. I always joke about how I hate potato salad, but every time I go to a place, I eat it. Like, I hate this shit. Why am I doing this? So I eat it.
Why?
Why do you take it?
Why do you take it in the first place?
Because I always hope maybe this time it'll be good, or it goes well with a hot dog or hamburger. I don't know, man. I don't have an explanation for everything. I just know I keep eating it, and it's never got good. Potato salad's not that good.
It's not.
It's not.
It's one of those things at a picnic where you're kind of obligated to take it.
Yeah. And it's like, I always think, okay, this guy made some good potato salad. I'll try it. It's not, the texture is not, it's like chunks of potatoes.
See, picnic potato salad is risky. The mayonnaise sitting out all day.
Yeah,
it's risky. It's a risky gamble.
Listen, mayonnaise is risky.
Think of a food like that where every time I eat it, there are foods like that where I think, oh, this time it'll work. There's movies like that. There's movies where I go, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. I've tried to watch this 4 or 5 times. I didn't enjoy it. Maybe it's me. Yeah. And I'll start again and be like, nope. Movies.
I watched Succession 3 times because I couldn't get past this baseball game section, and I just hated them so much. I just kept on trying again and again.
So that's the pilot episode where the helicopter goes to the baseball game.
Where he gives them a check.
So I did the exact same thing. That's so funny you say that. Terrible. And then somebody told me, they said, I know, I felt the same way. And they told me, they said, finish the first and second episode and you'll be hooked. And I go, all right. And I was. And so I finished the episode, and then I ended up loving the show.
Yeah.
It still makes me laugh that it won drama because it's a comedy. It's
so one comedy. I mean,
Now the bear won comedy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I thought it
Succession
was labeled as
drama.
a comedy. Yeah.
Even though the bear is not funny at all,
Yeah.
and Succession is hilariously funny to me. By the last season, by the end of the last few episodes, it's really funny. It's so ridiculous.
Oh my God. Some of those scenes were unbelievable.
Yeah.
I still quote him. What's the father's name? He's like
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox says something like, "What was he going to do next? Stick his dick in the potato salad or something?" I mean, it was the way he said it. Oh my God, Brian Cox is hilarious. He's amazing.
I don't know if we talked about this before either, but Brian Cox, I don't think gets enough credit as Hannibal Lecter. He was the first Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter.
Oh, was that when did that come out?
I didn't realize that.
Was that before Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, it's William Peterson, and it's Manhunter, and it's a Michael Mann movie, and it's fantastic. And Brian Cox is Hannibal Lecter in the cell, who's like, kill them all. And then the other,
To Live and Die in
To
LA.
Live and Die in LA. He's in CSI. Okay. CSI is his claim to fame, but To Live and Die in LA is so good. Yeah.
Wow, that's so funny.
It's crazy.
That's not Rutger Hauer. That's Cole Hauer. I would get too confused. Or Cole Hauer. Who's the bad guy in To Live and Die in LA? It's like
Willem Dafoe.
No, To Live and Die in LA.
To Willem Dafoe.
Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong movie then.
Yeah, you're right. You're thinking of Nighthawks, and I think you're thinking of Wingshauser.
Wingshauser, but Wingshauser's not into Live. Hold on, hold on.
Wingshauser is also Cole Hauser from Yellowstone's dad.
Wait a second, hold on. To Live and Die in L.A.
And Nighthawks is Rutger Hauer's in it. He's the bad guy with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
CSI was Sir Anthony Hopkins' claim to fame.
Wingshauser. I'm so confused about my movies now. That's hilarious. Wingshauser. Where have I seen? I feel like he was in a 70s movie as a pimp or something.
He's in every 70s movie. He was a very famous character actor in the 70s. Wingshauser.
By the way, I can't believe you mentioned Nighthawk because I love that movie and not well known.
It's great.
It's not well known. I loved it.
Stallone, Wingshauser, and there are Rutger Hauer, and they take that to Roosevelt Island across the water from New York City.
And Jamie and the Bionic Woman.
Oh,
Lindsay Wagner.
Lindsay Wagner's in it. Yeah,
she's the girl. And then at the end, Stallone wears the wig, and it's him. Yeah. That's the famous turnaround. Not to wreck another movie in one episode of this show, but
what didn't he have a trainer? Was the trainer famous? The guy that trained them, who got killed by? I feel like he was well known. I can't remember.
Now we're getting too deep into it.
I know.
We actually have a question.
Yeah. What do we got?
What are your favorite foods? And it's been asked to all three of us.
Wow, cool. I love that. That's a great question.
Jamie, what's yours?
You know what's funny? What will I say? I will say, what do I eat the most of? This is going to sound crazy, but I eat mostly salad.
That's your favorite food?
I love salad.
You do like salad, I will say.
Yesterday I had a Chinese chicken salad. I like the salad bar at Gelson's. I make a salad all the time. Sushi's probably I would say sushi might be my favorite.
I love sushi. I mean, I got to tell you, I go crazy for sushi and poke. You know, I do some poke.
I like manicotti, but I also like Korean barbecue is another of my favorite.
Korean barbecue. That's funny. It's always about the drinks with it too. Like I like sushi, but I love a little sake with it.
Oh, I love sake.
And if I have a steak, I'll open with a man and have a Cabernet with it. And then if I'm having salad, just straight grain alcohol usually is how I go with that.
Do you like your sake cold or hot?
I like it hot, but but that's not always true. So when I go out to like a restaurant, I'll usually get a hot sake, but I also really like if we get it at home, I'll get a nice bottle of cold sake.
I like cold sake.
Yeah, me too.
Is Korean barbecue the one where they put the huge amount of food in it, boils it down they grill it down to like nothing? Is that Korean? What is that? Maybe not. Okay, I don't know what.
Oh my God.
I mean, not the way I've seen it prepared.
I'm thinking of something else. Hold on. I'm thinking of
Jeff, do you remember? I think it might have been your birthday. We went to Gyokuku. It's the place they make you. It's not bukkake.
We made our own meats. We cooked our own steak.
You have to cook your own meat.
It's such a.
Is it Gyakuku?
It's Gyukaki. Gyuki. It was that next to In-N-Out, on Van Nuys and.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it your birthday or something? I go, and you and I. It made me laugh so hard because I was like, I was so angry because I was like, I don't like. You know what I don't like? I don't like cooking my own food at the restaurant.
That's why I don't go. We went. It was a novelty. It's still there, I think.
You and I, we had like a laughable like fight that night about. I'm like, did you take me to a place where I have to cook my own food? And you were like, it's really fun. They bring the meat out, and then I go, I can do this at home. And it was like a crazy sketch.
I do remember that. We were around a circle, yeah. I at first I did think it was a fun thing, and then it was like, it's kind of dumb. There was a place in Austin when I went to school called You Are Cooks, where you would cook your own steak, and at like dozens of grills. And I thought, this is not gonna last.
Dude, you have to do a bit about that. That's really funny.
You Are Cooks. It lasted about 3 days.
And each grill just has a cow standing next to it. And they give you the little nail gun.
Little thing just like men.
Cut whatever piece you want. You're like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh my God.
You're gonna have to peel the skin off, though. It's gonna be
you like a flank? Oh my God, stupid.
I'd almost go the opposite way where I would like to have somebody I don't even like to order. Do you know that about me? Have we talked about this?
You don't like to order?
I know only from personal conversations. We never talked about it on the show.
But when we go to dinner, a lot of times people, like if somebody goes, hey, do you want me to just order for the table? It's my favorite thing on earth.
Oh my God. Even if you don't know what it is?
I love it. I don't care. Now, listen, if it depends on of course, the restaurant, but I'm pretty good with most things. And a lot of times I like, so when I was in college, when I would go to lectures, you know how most people would sit in the exact same chair every class?
Yeah.
I changed every class. I always have this weird thing about looking at things from a different view. And a lot of times on menus, you don't try something that you go to your same old choices every time. And so I just like not making decisions. I like somebody else ordering the food and then.
Interesting. I guess we all have weird. I mean, I count when I urinate. Is that weird?
No. Have you ever told anyone that before? I do the exact and I wrote it into a script.
Wait, what?
I mean, that's so weird. I don't know.
I count.
What do you mean you count from like when you start to when you finish?
I don't know how to describe it. I mean, sometimes it's when I just squirt the last few squirts, but
I skip count. I skip count.
Yeah.
So if the word this is how I know I'm on the edge of the spectrum and I have OCD or whatever. Like when you're urinating, it says like Elger or something or Kohler on it, and I'll be like Kohler, 6 letters. 6 times 2 is 6.
Yeah.
12 times 2 is 24 times 2 is 48, and I'll just keep going up in my head as I'm peeing.
That's so. I'm
totally
probably thousands. We should collect a book of these weird things.
Was it just me, or is it just me? Or is that a serious non sequitur?
No, it wasn't actually. It was just like it was just a general like we do weird things. Like when I eat an M&M in my mouth, I eat it a certain way. Everybody has a different way when it goes in their mouth. Like I crack it in my mouth to get the 2 sides of the shell apart, and then I eat the inside. But it all happens in my mouth. I mean, am I weird? Is that weird? Like, don't you guys do something with candy like in your mouth?
Dude, I talk to my kids all the time because they're like, you know, I go, listen, everybody's crazy.
Yeah.
The sooner you come to terms with the fact that everybody has their own crazy.
And the field is level. That's how.
Yeah. And as soon as you can own it and go, yeah, I do this, and go, I make no apologies for it. I'm not hurting anybody. What do you care? What do you care what I'm doing?
It's not always funny.
I mean, people do like to be in other people's business quite a bit. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Dude, I'm definitely on the edge. I was talking to my daughter about meditation yesterday because she was having trouble sleeping. She was like, you get wound up. And when I was a kid, I couldn't sleep for shit. If I had a sleepover, I'd be up I would just stare at the ceiling the entire night. I couldn't sleep. I'm crazy. And so my daughter kind of has that too a little bit. And I was talking to her because I kind of learned to meditate over the years so I could knock myself out and go to sleep. And so in my head, I'll go to a different place and time in my life. Like a lot of times I'll go to San Diego. I'm in my early 30s. I'm on my beach cruiser. I'm going down to play volleyball, and I'll go like block by block.
Yeah.
Where I go. Does everybody do that, or am I crazy?
Yeah, no, I do that. I mean, I know what you mean. I
can really go like out of body and make. I've done so much yoga and with Shavasana where you just try to let your body melt. So I was talking to my daughter, and we were doing Shavasana together, and I was getting her to breathe in through her nose, out through her mouth, and just let her body melt and let her thoughts dissipate, because it's really hard now, especially nowadays with social media and all the computer and stuff. It's hard to like turn it off. And so I think it's a real skill to be able to do that. And I wish somebody had kind of shown me stuff like that when I was younger.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So I did a voice on Loud House on Monday, and I pulled Claire out of school a half hour early, and I took her to Nickelodeon with me.
Oh, that's cool.
Funny.
I only had
What do you think?
She was
Is that in Burbank still?
It's in Burbank, yeah, right on Olive.
Okay, it has the things outside. Yeah,
And I went over. I've done like 16 episodes of it. I play the Stu. He's the sportscaster or whatever. And so I went and I brought Claire, and she was like, we played a Teenage Mutant Ninja video game, and then went in the craft services. And it was
that's
cool.
funny. I took care of Lucy for some reason.
Yeah.
So I have an announcement. Justin Harrison from the You Only Virtual Company that does my AI is going to come on. We are about to begin the building of the video version of AI Me. So pretty soon we will be able to bring AI Me and regular me onto the same show. And Jamie and I have come up with a plan to do a game show where we answer the same questions to see how close we get.
That's amazing.
I can't believe you brought it up at the end of the show, but that's amazing. I guess that's kind of a teaser. Is it going to happen? So you're going to do a show with you and your own AI.
Correct. Yes. It'll be a video version of like the video AI me and also me. I have talked to him on the phone now. It is going to be super.
Dude, that show will be so hilarious because we'll put I won't even tell you. Maybe Jeff and I will make the questions so you don't know what the questions are. Then I'll ask you the question, and then the AI you the question.
Yes. In fact, I will leave the chat while you ask him, and then we'll fake it so that we, No,
you'll be on camera. I'll just put you in. We'll put you in earmuffs or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like the old 21 sound booth or whatever.
Right. In the sound booth.
So really quick, also, Jeff, you're streaming on
At
Twitch.
9. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay, so everyone who's here, there's a ton of people watching, which is awesome. I'm hoping a bunch of those people came in a little early to watch Jeff do Twitch. So let's cut this thing. It's 9:00.
Yep.
And stick around because Jeff is going to do Red Dead
Redemption.
By the way, Jeff brought me into the Oculus, so we are going to start doing this show and some stand-up shows in the metaverse.
Yes.
In our club that we built a long time ago in the metaverse. So stick around for that. Jason, is there anything else we need to tell everyone before we wrap?
No, I mean, we're going to be live here again next Thursday night. Jamie, do you have any stand-up shows coming up?
I'm in Carpinteria, California this week. And a week from Saturday, I am with Kira Sultanovich.
Oh, yeah.
And we are doing a mom versus dad stand-up show at Flappers Comedy in Burbank. Check out my Instagram.
Try to come see that.
And also, I'm doing an autism benefit comedy show here in Waverly, New York at the Legacy Laugh Room. Me and Jay Yoder, who you guys may know from the Board Teachers Tour, we are doing a show with two comics who are autistic themselves. And then Jay and I are going to talk about our kids and all the 50% of the proceeds we're going to go to a local organization that helps support autism and support for those individuals like my kids. So if you are near Waverly, New York, or in the Northeast, check out our social media, and I will make sure there are details for that show.
I love it. Be sure to come find us Instagram. Give us a follow, a subscribe. We would love it. It would help. Be sure, if you can, try to follow us on YouTube and watch this on YouTube because that's our main hub.
Main hub.
That's it. Thanks to Jeff Lewis, Jason Gowan, our buddy Ben Duff was in here earlier helping us out. I'm Jamie Kaler. We'll see you next week here in the Parents Lounge.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.